Joining us right now on the Notre Dame video hotline is Sarah Brenzel, a Notre Dame alum from the class of 2012 who was diagnosed with a brain aneurysm in high school. Could easily have been a death sentence, but instead it led to her passion and a thriving career in the world of video games. Sarah, welcome to Notre Dame Day.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Really great to have you. So let's go back, Sarah. Start and talk about when you were diagnosed with the brain aneurysm. Can you describe how, in a way, that affected you growing up?
Sure. So an aneurysm occurs when a vessel's wall has a weakness, and the vessel bulges out at this weak point and fills with blood. If the aneurysm ruptures, it causes excess blood to spill out into the brain tissue around the aneurysm, which means the blood doesn't get to where it's supposed to go, cutting off the blood supply to other important parts of your brain. Aneurysms are typically found in older patients because high blood pressure and other vascular issues can form an aneurysm over time. So in younger patients like myself, at the time I was 15, aneurysms are usually attributed to injury or genetics. So when I was diagnosed with an aneurysm, I was with my parents at Yale New Haven Hospital. I was 15 years old and old enough to receive the news alongside them, so we were able to react together. When the doctor told us about the aneurysm, our family already knew what aneurysms were. My maternal grandmother had passed away when my mom was young, before I was born. So I thought about aneurysms as this reason that I never got to meet my grandmother. So this was already an emotionally charged issue for us, and especially my mom. Once we had absorbed that news, the next was another punch. Yale Medical didn't feel equipped to handle a case like this since my aneurysm was deep within the brain, so they said we'd have to go to one of the top research neuroscience hospitals in the Northeast. So that's kind of when we buckled in and realized we had a journey ahead of us, but we're able to find doctors that led us through it in the best way that the situation could have gone.
And so let's fast forward now, and you're finally healthy, and that's the most important thing. You landed an internship in high school with the video game giant EA. So where did everything go from there?
Yeah, so my first summer at EA, I was able to work on a couple different projects, including a Sims project, which I grew up playing and played a lot when I was sick and withdrawn from school. So walking in it felt like a dream come true, and that motivated me to really knock it out of the ballpark. I worked really hard those couple of weeks and made a good impression on the coworkers that I was working with. So when I made a connection with those people, they invited me back for internships, and it went from there. I got a full-time job upon graduation and worked there until recently when I switched over to Zynga.
Yeah, let's go to that. Another company, you just mentioned Zynga, the developer of social games like Words with Friends. So tell us a little bit about that transition.
Yeah, so I've always worked in the new IP division at EA and here as well. So part of my job involves brainstorming new game ideas and analyzing the market and detecting those trends, which is incredibly fun, especially for a game lover like myself who grew up, so engrossed in these games. So that's really exciting. But another part that even connects back to my health issues, where I use games as something to pass time, a way to remain socially engaged. Now through the Zynga.org department, we get to use our game making knowledge to create games for education and health scenarios. Like right now we're working with UCSF, the neuroscience lab there, to create a game that targets Alzheimer's patients and ADHD patients, disorder in the brain, and uses game mechanics to keep those engaged and keep them functioning, and eventually, hopefully, to replace medicines that have side effects and physical side effects. So.
Well, Sarah, it is really an incredible story from you, as you talked about when you were 15 and what you went through and how you overcame that, to the incredible success that you are now. We really appreciate you jumping in for a few minutes on this great day here at Notre Dame.
Thank you. Notre Dame played a big part in it, so I'm glad to share.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Just an incredible story. So many great Notre Dame alums out there that we've talked about. So many great stories that we have in this time going through this Notre Dame Day.